Hey everyone, it's me Doomlink and welcome back to the Dark Souls livestream series. I've sort of come to a realization as to what I want to do with the series regarding the Xbox 360 version. For some reason the game seems louder than normal. Maybe I raised the volume when I was testing out my new GameCube component cable. I don't know, well it's not really a component cable, it is, but it isn't, it's an alternative. It's the D-terminal cable, which is the only alternative to the GameCube component cable, but not that you care about that. I'm going to lower the volume of the television so that there isn't any bleed into the microphone, or at the very least so that there is minimal bleed into the microphone. Sometimes there is just a tiny little bit, not that you'd notice it, but I notice everything that goes wrong, so there you go. That's a lot better. That's a lot better. So, I bid you all a good evening. As a greeting, of course, not as a farewell. But, what I was talking about when I teased that I'd come to a realization, the realization was that compared to the PS3 version, this version runs better. It runs well enough for me to want to continue recording the 360 version for this livestream series, not permanently, but it will at least suffice until I am able to record the PC version in a way that I'm content with, or in a way that meets my standards, and all of the previous PC recordings that I've done for this game haven't met my standards, so visually speaking, that is to say. Because, you know, I mean, I don't want to get into the whole subject as to what the problems were, but it just didn't work. That's the reason why I'm doing this, even though it's at 30 FPS and all that business. At the very least, it far surpasses the experience of watching me play on the PS3 version, because on the PS3 version it's this very muddy component video output, whereas this is nice and clean and HDMI and all that, so yeah, this is quite nice. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it's good enough for me to continue recording this. The way in which I'm going to approach that is, it is going to be a little different to how I did my Demon Souls livestream series. My Demon Souls livestream series was essentially several new game runs over a long period of time, and then I would eventually loop back to those older characters, those older builds, and then work on the New Game Plus and Plus 2 runs of those builds. But in this case, what I'm going to do, because I will eventually be moving to the PC version for this livestream series, I'm going to instead focus on maybe 1 or 2 characters and increase the new game level, so new game plus 2, plus 3, plus 4 and all that. Might even go all the way up to 7, but the only thing that would stop me doing that is the fact that you might get sick of the build, and I might get sick of the build, so yeah, that would be the only thing that would stop me from doing really high levels of new game, but I think that's going to be the plan going forward. I will at least do a second build for the Xbox 360 version before starting to increase the levels of new game for the build, but I think I'm going to be doing that going forward. It'll probably be like that for the next 6 months, maybe 12 months, hopefully not 12 months, but I have a very long-term perspective when it comes to my video creation and my content creation and all that, so I can easily see a year passing and still not having organised the PC version for recording. That wouldn't be out of order, at least for me. That wouldn't be out of the ordinary, maybe I should say. It would be out of order, but but it wouldn't be out of the ordinary. I do have beverages today. Not quite the beverages that I was intending on getting. It's the correct type of beverage, but you know what, I should have gotten champagne instead. No, I'm going to have champagne tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be, assuming everything goes well, and when I say tomorrow, I would say about... No, I won't guess the number of hours from now, because it really depends on his availability, but I'm going to be doing a Sonic 06 recording, a follow-up recording to my previous one, but Ethan's going to join me. And, you know, regardless of his involvement with the game, he was going to be there, but it turns out that he actually completed the game some years ago, probably around the time it came out, so that's going to be really interesting. Beverage for today is Guinness Extra Stout. What I was meaning when I said that it's the correct type of beverage, well, you know, the same kind of beverage that I wanted, is that I wanted a stout, but I wanted Cooper's, not Guinness. But Guinness Extra Stout is going to do just fine today. I'm going to be drinking out of my Weihenstephaner glass, yeah, and it says Weihenstephan on the glass itself, because that's the name of the brewery, but the actual beer is Weihenstephaner, which is one of my favourite German beers. But that is the glass that I'll be drinking this out of today, because it's a tall glass and I enjoy those types of glasses for these types of beers. I have alternatively been drinking stout, and, you know, out of these big 750ml bottles and all that, with my 500ml Hoegaarden glass, this giant fucking tumbler that you can hold with two hands because it's so big. But it's not the most elegant looking thing, and to be honest, the drinking experience isn't as fun. I would say the best thing about it is that it has sort of an impact factor. You know, there are ways to have half a litre of liquid in a glass without the glass looking that fucking big. It's interesting, but there are ways to do it, and that would be the most awkward way to do it, the way that they choose to do it with their glass. It's crazy. But yes, there is an impact factor. If you see it in person, you're just like, whoa, what the fuck? How much beer is that guy drinking? That's the sort of impression that you get. And I don't know if you can really see it on the webcam when I drink out of that glass, but it's like the size of my head. Like, if I tilt it up, like it's covering my entire face. That's how big it is. You know, the rim of the glass, that is to say. So, yeah. Anyway, go pour that, and then we will enter the game. I do realise that, no, I would say that for the most part I've been topical in all of my discussions up until this point. Discussions with myself, that is to say, more specifically. It's not like I'm having a discussion with you. Of course not. What an absolutely ridiculous suggestion. I'm just talking to myself today. Which is what I usually do. It's what I enjoy, don't worry. But I do believe that, and I'll have to try to remember this, I think all we have to do, well, rather than saying all we have to do, I think our objective for this recording is to clear Tomb of the Giants, Lost Izalith, the rest of the DLC, and Gwyn, obviously. If there are any build-related things for me to work on, I guess I will establish that while recording here, but I think that is the bulk of what we will be doing in this recording. To my understanding, there is nothing else for me to be doing. And, because, for example, I have the Black Bow of Faris here, so that's taken care of. I have plenty of weapons for the build. I mean, 3 is enough for me. Technically, I've got 4. But, really, this is good enough for me. I wasn't 100% sure as to what I should be doing. Yes. No. I've done the Bed of Chaos. Okay. So what I said minus Lost Izalith, you see, I couldn't remember what I did last time, because I've been playing a lot of this game on the PC in my own time. Multiple different builds, which means that it sort of confuses me in terms of my memory. In other words, what I've done in this build on camera starts to overlap with memories of what I've done in the game in my own time, so I wasn't 100% sure what I hadn't done, but it seems that I did actually do Lost Izalith, given that I have the Bed of Chaos soul. And, yeah, that's fine. In terms of how far through the DLC I went, I'm pretty sure I killed Artorias. Would I have killed Artorias? I think so. Yeah, I did. I definitely killed Artorias. I think I did that earlier on, didn't I? Yes, of course I killed Artorias. Look at the armor set that I'm wearing, for fuck's sake. The head got a little bit over the top there. I'm trying to show that to you without, you know, seeing the game behind it. Because, you know, the chroma key is quite strict at the moment. I'm working with absolutely no natural light whatsoever. So, you know, my hand is disappearing and all that business, but I don't like it when the head gets all big like that. Excuse me. Don't mean to splutter on my beer into the microphone. It's not the most, well, courteous thing to do to my audience, to subject you to such filth. But anyway, what I think we'll do first... Well, probably what we'd end up doing first is the... Apparently OBS disconnected at some point. For how long it disconnected, I don't know, but we're back. I don't think I said anything too significant in that time. Let me see if it created a separate VOD. I'd be really annoyed if it did. But the thing is, Twitch is really fast with ending the stream if there's no more connection. Yep. It created a separate VOD. What a joke. It's not a big deal for the YouTube upload, but it's dumb when you're viewing the VODs on Twitch. But yeah, that did create a second VOD. So I don't know when OBS decided to shit itself and stop sending the live stream through, but whatever. It's not a big deal. What I was saying was that, again, I've got no idea where I was cut off, but basically what I was saying was that I could either do Manus before or after completing the Tomb of the Giants. And I think I'm going to do the Tomb of the Giants first, because Manus can be a little difficult. He's one of the harder bosses of the game. He's not crushingly difficult. I wouldn't say that there are any crushingly difficult bosses in this game. The only boss that really would be crushingly difficult would be Ornstein and Smo when you don't really know how to fight them. But once you learn how to fight them, it's not a big deal. I would say, therefore, probably the hardest boss would be Gwyn. Gwyn's just rough. You wouldn't think he's so hard, but in practice he really is a challenging fight. I'm drinking this beer very awkwardly because of this head on the top. I'd like to remove that. I don't have tissues nearby. But I will make up for that. It's sort of like a... It's like a cloud, you know, you can't really see it because it's being... The chroma key's biting into it so aggressively, but... Anyway, it's not a big deal. Just making sure my chat is up. Alright, one moment. How far? I'm 13 minutes in and haven't done anything yet. Well, that's what it means to have a long recording, I suppose. It's not like the old days. Back when you could only do 10 minutes in total, which was actually 11 minutes. They gave you a 1 minute buffer. That's a mess. I don't even know where to put that now. There will do, I suppose. Now that's a much nicer beverage. Get my fucking hair out of it. Bloody hell. That is marginally worse than the stout that I'm used to. Wow. It's fine, I suppose, but it's not winning any awards. Or maybe I say that, but I'm sure Guinness Extra Stout has won some awards, but not from me. Not from me. Alrighty. So, yes, I also established that we have yet to kill Pinwheel, so we're going to do that. Pinwheel, of course, is the boss leading up to the Tomb of the Giants, and it's worth noting, and I noted this in the previous recording for the benefit of one of my viewers who asked a question that pertained to what I'm about to say. But you can access the Tomb of the Giants through Pinwheel from the very beginning of the game. I could go straight from first arriving at Fireling Shrine and reach the first bonfire of the Tomb of the Giants, because you can get through about, let's say, a third of the Tomb of the Giants without needing the Lord Vessel set at the door to the Kiln of the First Flame. And that's how that works. So, yeah. I think I was going to expand on that further, but my elucidations have been halted on account of my supreme forgetfulness. Alright, stop it. I didn't need to be pushed awkwardly. I don't like being pushed awkwardly. You'll notice that most of the time I will just skip the catacombs. I like the catacombs, I'm going to be completely honest. But I just, because I don't need to go through it, I don't. Generally speaking. It's been many years since I last did a full run through the catacombs. I don't find myself needing Vamos either. If you need Vamos for whatever reason, then yeah, it would make sense for you to do that. And by that I mean go through the catacombs, but yeah, I don't really need him. You only need him for fire weapons. And in turn, hold on, let me try to do a drop attack. That is not a good attempt. That was pathetic. It was actually pathetic. But anyway. The bone wheel skeletons really are terrible in this game. For those people who maybe first played Dark Souls 2 and think that bone wheel skeletons are annoying, no. No. The bone wheel skeletons in Dark Souls 2 were complete pansies compared to the ones in this game. The ones in this game are just fucking brutal. They do not let up. They're incredibly aggressive, and they just go forever. They'll just roll forever, seemingly, and chase you forever. And what that translates to is endless flinching until you're dead. It reminds me of that Naga Cougar from Monster Hunter Frontier that can actually do a mid-air stun lock with one of his attacks. In other words, you get hit once and then you're just stuck because you get hit over and over and over and over again. That is what the bone wheel skeletons are like in this game. Fuck this beer, man. That's my review of this beer. Now, I'm pleased to announce that I have remembered how to run through the Tomb of the Giants. I'm very pleased to announce this, in fact. It's a bit weird at 30 FPS, but you know. Part of the reason why I've remembered is because they do sort of, you know, help you out. Let's go grab humanity here. It's because I've been playing in my own time. Usually when I play this game, I'm going based on, like, very vague memories. But because I've been playing in my own time recently, I'm remembering all the old skills that I used to have and all that business. That's not necessarily to suggest that you're going to see some amazing play from me here, but at the very least I can do that. Now that's one thing that, oh that's right, I have the sunlight maggot. I was about to say, oh that's right, I wonder if I even have the appropriate item to go through here, and then I remembered, oh yeah, so I've already done the Lost Eyes Lith location, which means I have the sunlight maggot. I just ran through there without the sunlight maggot to prove a point. Not just to you, but to myself, that I indeed am able to run through there without issue now. More than anything else, well actually, rather than being unable to do it, it's my personal belief that I didn't have the confidence that I'd be able to do it. I think I was always able to do it, but I didn't give it a try because it seemed so intimidating, but when I gave it a try in my own time, in other words, where I could fail without risk of embarrassment, I remembered how to do it, and it's not complicated. I mean, of course, the prism stones are there as a guide. If you really don't know where the hell you're going, the prism stones aren't going to help that much. Now, I just got that white Titanite chunk from a Black Knight who killed himself. I don't know how he kills himself, but he does. It doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes he will. Oh, I still need to upgrade this armor set. That's really stupid because, you know, obviously I had tasked myself with, in my own time, off camera, grinding Twinkling Titanite, and I failed to do it. And you guys know what that means, don't you? Especially if this is the last recording for the new game build. You're going to be watching me do it. And I apologize for that. Well, I don't know if it's something worth apologizing for, but at the very least I will apologize for breaking my promise to you. Whether or not it was actually a promise, I couldn't really say, but at the very least I said that I would do this and didn't do it, so I suppose you can hold a grudge against me for as long as you feel is necessary. I usually don't pick this up. May as well. There's no reason not to. It's just a soul of a hero, it's just more souls. Nothing wrong with that. I'll take it. It's just as well I come from a Let's Playing background, isn't it? 20 minutes in and I don't think anyone's watching. Well, whatever. I wouldn't want to be sharing this beer with anyone. Anyway, it's not very impressive. I mean, look, some people might like Guinness. I don't know. And I'm not against Guinness, but this extra stout is extra not okay. It's extra disappointing, is what it is. And I think standard Guinness is better than this, flavor-wise. But it's always been a little dubious to me that Guinness needs nitrogen to taste better. I'm thinking, well, if you're adding nitrogen to your fucking beer, maybe it means you haven't worked out how to make a nice beer. Because it's supposed to, I'm pretty sure it's a flavor thing, as well as, you know, they nitro pull it for reasons that don't necessarily relate to flavor, but there is a flavor thing, because if you get it in a can, they have like a little nitro thing inside, which I thought was, you know, ice that hadn't melted into the can when I first got a can of Guinness some years ago. A beverage which I regretted purchasing because it was fucking miserable. It wasn't like, you know, getting it poured in the taps in the Isle of Man. It was fucking bad. It tasted like asshole. That's what it tasted like. I'm having a real hard time hitting this boss, in case you haven't noticed. I was actually, that's funny, I hadn't really considered why I had Quelaang's Fury Sword equipped, and then I remembered that I had equipped it in anticipation of using it in the Tomb of the Giants in the last video. So, there you go. That worked out rather well, didn't it? I'm barely paying attention to what I'm doing, by the way. In fact, I feel so very disconnected from the game, because I've got my little television, and it's at 30 FPS. I feel very disconnected from the game right now. I don't feel immersed. Hey Doom, at 6 AM, says Juvenator. Well, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Don't think you've ever watched me at this time of day. And if you have, well, I didn't take notice of it. But, yeah, hope you have a good day. It's evening where I am, it's 8 in the evening. Just had a full day of work. Coming into the weekend. Hey Brando man, good to see you back. I genuinely wasn't sure if you were ever going to return, but I'm glad that you did. I'm glad that you did. Alright. Hold on. That was weird. One thing that does put me off a little bit with these bosses is that this is the boss soul. You can't consume that for souls. It's just not an option that's available to you, and that does put me off. But I suppose they give you enough souls from the defeat of the boss, or the defeating of the boss, however you want to say that, to make up for what you would have to consume through the soul that you were given. Of course, we can't consume these souls, so they probably give us extra souls from the death. That is what I would imagine. That's good to hear, Brando man. You joined through... What did you join through? Was it a Soul stream or a Monstunner stream that you joined through? It was probably Monstunner, wasn't it? I don't remember. Monstunner. So that was 7 days ago. At around this time, 7 days ago. Anyway. I need to get my head in gear because, again, I've been doing a lot of Dark Souls in my own time with different builds, so my head is not even remotely in this build right now, so I need to start paying attention to what I've got going on here. I think 30 Vitality and 30 Endurance is fair, so I think we're going to continue upgrading Dexterity to 45, at which point I will consider if there is any benefit to upgrading Endurance further, and if not, then Vitality will be our focus. So, Would we want... I think, well, technically yes, because there's a part of me that wants to be able to fast roll with the flamberge here, but... Ugh. I don't really know if I could be bothered. I really don't know. I can fast roll... Well, you know, if I can fast roll with this, it's not going to be too far away, so let's put a point into... Let's just get endurance high enough to be able to fast roll with the flamberge, huh? Let's say 1 or 2 more upgrades and we should be good. And that's fine. Yeah, most of my viewers can't watch me at this time, that's why you're more or less here on your own. But I'm a Let's Player. Well, I was originally a Let's Player before Let's Playing died a death. So consequently, I'm really good at sitting here and talking to myself, so... It doesn't bother me. Anyway. Do I want to continue using Quelaag's Fury Sword? Because the whole reason why I decided to use it for this location was because I hadn't used it for a little while. But, do I want to use it even more? Let's do that. I'll use Quelaag's Fury Sword for Manus. Now, have I killed Gwendolyn? My answer will come as soon as I go to Anor Londo. If it's Dark Anor Londo, it means the answer is yes. Again, I can't remember. I know you guys probably think, oh yeah, obviously you did Doomlink, how can you not remember that? But I've gone through 2 different builds quite extensively since I last recorded here, so my answer is yes, Gwendolyn has been killed. So there you go. I do have a YouTube that I upload to, Branderman. I used to stream to both YouTube and Twitch, and then YouTube only for a period of time for various reasons. Reasons relating to the fact that if you stream to Twitch's specifications, YouTube ends up looking like shit. So yeah, for a period of time I streamed only to YouTube, but YouTube never did me any favors. In fact, it did quite the opposite. It was always a bad user experience. And so I do continue to upload my VODs to YouTube, but I made the decision to become affiliated on Twitch, which was something that I was putting off for like 8 months or something. And I eventually did it, and yeah, haven't looked back. Now, Twitch hasn't necessarily done me any favors either, but there's more potential for favors to be done than in the case of YouTube. YouTube's a fucking void. It's a wasteland. In fact, I'm getting less VOD views on YouTube now than ever. So, and for no real reason that I can possibly put my finger on. Other than maybe slightly less frequent Monster Hunter uploads, but... tough titties, ladies and gentlemen. I have things that I like to play that aren't Monster Hunter. Oh my god. Who would have thought, right? But yeah. It's just as well that I enjoy doing this for myself first and foremost. Otherwise I would have stopped doing this like 9 years ago. But I try not to talk in this vein because people misunderstand. They think I'm bitter. And I'm not really. I mean, part of me is, but not really. Not really. Yeah, get out of here. You can probably see that I'm playing really lazily at the moment. Part of it is especially because I'm used to New Game Plus and beyond. So I feel like nothing's going to touch me here. I feel pretty much impervious to all attacks. So, yeah. I didn't mean to roll twice, that was not on the agenda. Do I play Dark Souls 3? Yes, I do. But I don't record it. I don't record Dark Souls 3. Because I just, you know... I focus on Demon Souls, and now I'm doing a bit of Dark Souls as well. I'll continue Demon Souls soon. I'm just having a lot of fun with Dark Souls at the moment. I needed a Demon Souls break. I mean, I had a Demon Souls break, and then I returned to it for like 1 build, and now I need another break. The reality is that I've played that game so much. I really have. It's just been such an incredibly extensive history of me playing that game. I have an extensive history of playing it, so You know, as much as doing however many builds, it's been like 13 different builds on the channel of Demon Souls, not including my Let's Plays, so it's probably closer to 15. Beyond 15, most likely. But, yeah, as much as I've done a lot of those on camera already, that's a piss in the ocean compared to what I've done in my own time over the last 12 years in Demon Souls. So, you know, I mean, as replayable as that game is, it can only be so replayable. I really do need a bit of a break from it. I'm never going to buy Guinness Extra Stout ever again. Oh dear. Why did I do that? Well, no, I don't regret doing it. I've had Guinness Extra Stout in the past, but I didn't think it was that bad. I knew it was average. My understanding of it was that it was average, not that it was bad. I mean, maybe this isn't bad, but it's definitely flirting on the threshold of being bad. Fuck off, asshole. Look at him doing his little back hop, and then this dick is going to come in. No, you don't. No, you don't. We're not playing this game right now. I mean, you can see. This is a situation where I must prioritize healing, okay? Forget trying to survive with almost no fucking health. No, look at that. Now, this is a problem that I often have in this area. It is the fact that that second caster falls down from his high place and snipes me from an incredible distance. He snipes you from so far away that sometimes he's not even on your radar. Yeah, not literally. I mean, there is no literal radar to speak of. I'm speaking in figurative terms. But yeah, that fucking sucks. And quite frankly, I'm not surprised that happened. That's annoying because that was basically the end of that section. You unlock a shortcut elevator, just a little bit further beyond where I was there. And that basically completes that section, but I died just shy of reaching that point, so that's annoying. Very annoying, actually, but whatever. Again, I'm not surprised because I've had to deal with that shit before. It's always that sniping caster in the distance that results in my failure in that particular spot. He's my nemesis, basically. Can you actually... Oh, I know why you're not dead. It's because I don't have any humanity in my counter. Alright. With that in mind, it's time for the... No, actually, I feel like I want good range with you guys. In fact, I definitely want good range with you guys. Look at that beautiful one-shot. Me likey. Yeah, Great Scythe is the way to go. Why are you... Oh. I thought one of those guys was running after me, but it turned out that one of the corpses was ragdolling after me, in actual fact. So that was lovely. But yeah, Brandon, man, if you just YouTube my name, Doomlink, you should be able to find my YouTube channel. I've only been uploading to that specific one since 2014, although my oldest stuff that's up there is from 2015, but yeah. That's, well, I suppose that's enough history, isn't it? Since 2015, it's not too bad. I only started streaming in 2019, and the reason why was because I just didn't have fast enough internet for it until 2019. Otherwise I would have, certainly. Streaming was never off my radar, it was never off my to-do list. But I just wasn't able to stream at a high enough video bitrate. Well, more than anything else, forget about video bitrate, like I just didn't have fast enough upload to do that. Internet in Australia has been historically banned for upload, and consequently, streaming just wasn't a thing that we could do. So, there you go. I mean, everyone jokes about how Australian internet is bad. It's not, I wouldn't say it's particularly bad, it's just a lot worse than you think it would be. Given our economy, given the country that we are, Our internet's disproportionately terrible. And it's funny, it's better now than it was years ago, but comparatively speaking, it's bad. Like, if you compare it to the rest of the world, God, it sucks. Okay, I'm still at risk of being sniped here. Yeah, he's not up the top, so I need to be careful. Things are going a little better now than they were, but oh, you've actually made your way all the way up front. Look at that. I'm honestly shocked. Staying away from that poison cloud. I have no interest in being poisoned at this time. Get out of here. And now for your friends. I hate it when they do this little thing where they run towards you and then they turn around just for a moment to really mess up your timing. I think it's done intentionally. I think they are designed to mess up any combo. In other words, they add an element of unpredictability, and consequently you just mess up. Alright. So with this, we can now be rest assured that we don't have to take that path ever again. Well, actually, we will have to take that again. Well, you know what we'll do? While we're here, we'll go and get the key to Hawkeye Goth, that's his name. We'll get the key to Hawkeye Goth, and then that will be done. We don't have to return in the future, in other words. As soon as I said that I'll never have to take that path again, my memories started, like an alarm went off in my head, and it was a particularly annoying alarm, the kind of alarm that one cannot ignore. And it was, you need the key, otherwise you'll be going through there again, Doomlings. So, yeah, I have responded accordingly to the alarm. And I thank my brain for operating in this way. Are you fucking kidding me? It's been a while since I've had that happen. Where I collide solidly with the wall, and consequently cannot actually make the jump. That's pretty funny. So funny that I'm laughing so much and I'm smiling so much. Can you not see how hilarious I find that? Honestly. Ridiculous failure for the sake of my own delectation, right? Except that I don't enjoy it quite so much. Crest key. So now that we have that, we can rest assured properly. Well, hold on. There we go. You are out of my hair, officially. You know, people probably say out of my hair, you know, the phrase. But they themselves don't have lots of hair. I have lots of hair, so I can say it. With great conviction. So, there you go. If anyone's allowed to use that phrase, it's me. Of course, it's always meant figuratively, but it helps if you've got hair. Definitely helps. Right. Oh, fuck off with you. Of course I would walk out there just in time to get hit by that. Just in time. Dealing with two of them is very annoying if you don't have ranged capabilities. I do not have ranged capabilities. I'm going to try to get a... You motherfucker. You actual motherfucker. Shit, well... Of course, one problem with dark magic is the poise damage that it deals, because it is both a magic attack and a physical attack, and because it's a physical attack, or at the very least in part, a physical attack, that always fucking happens. That always fucking happens. Always, always, always. I always die to them in that way. Well, I don't always die to them in that way. You've seen me die to them in other ways, just in this recording, but the point is that that's normal too. For me to die exactly like that, that's standard. The dying part isn't standard, but the method of death is standard, yes. I'm sick with spawning in the fucking Tomb of the Giants. Let's rectify that right now. I will rest at the Ulasil Township bonfire. How about that? I was saying something before. Whatever. I don't think it was anything too pressing. Not to my memory, no. Can't believe I got 2 bottles of that fucking Guinness Extra Stout. I'll drink it, but... fuck me. I did get that bloodstain back, good. I was wondering for a moment, because I had no memory of it. No, I remember now. I remember getting that bloodstain back. I'm not concerned about the souls, I'm concerned about the humanity that I would lose if I... How are you still alive? Don't give me that crap. I'm kind of content with my Great Scythe. Actually... Did I pick up the Titanite slab in this location? I don't think I did. No, I didn't. Let's do that. If I'm going to use the Great Scythe, let's just go and grab that. Because we do at some point have to lay eyes on Calamite anyway. So let's do that. That works out just fine. Although, no, I am concerned that I won't actually be able to reach that Titanite slab before Calamite breathes his fire through the area. He does a pass over the area and breathes his fire, and I have a feeling that I won't be able to reach the slab before he does that. But if that happens, then... Well, no, what I'll do is I'll just watch him carefully, and if it looks like I'm not going to make it, I'll homeward bone out. But I'd like to at least try. I will at least try. So let's give it a shot. Out you go. You can jump around all you want, my friend. You are contending with a Great Scythe, which has a habit of ignoring all of that little bullshit. Oh, I almost got you. But yeah, those silly little maneuvers where you're jumping from side to side. Oh, right. That's why there's no fog gate. It's because I haven't actually seen him yet. Once you've seen him once, or he sees you, however you want to say that, there will be a fog gate. I did not intend for that. I don't even want to explain... Okay, well, I just lost that humanity, but because I was not counting on dying there. I don't even want to explain how that happened. I didn't intend to drop when I dropped. And as far as I'm concerned, I shouldn't have dropped where I dropped, but I did. So that happened, and that's now my 3rd death in this recording. What the fuck? I don't mind dying in Dark Souls, but I don't want dumb deaths like that, where it seems the environment is sucking me off the edge. That's what that felt like. I was not intending on falling there. I mean, maybe you could blame me for that, maybe you could say that that was my negligence. I was being careless, and as a result, I slipped off, but... yeah. My point is that I didn't walk up to the edge with the intention of dropping off in that spot, thinking that I was going to land on the Crystal Lizard. That was my intention, ultimately. It was to locate the Crystal Lizard and then drop on top of him, and then next thing you know, I'm falling down the fucking thing. When I was instead intending to locate that Crystal Lizard. How very ridiculous. Get out of here. Yep. I don't know what you thought you were achieving by going behind those logs, but you didn't achieve anything. So, I hope you regret what you've done. Well, actually, he can't regret anything because he's dead. Alright, there we go. This is what we wanted. Drop attack on the Crystal Lizard. Got some Twinkling Titanite, which works in our favour. We do need Twinkling Titanite, actually. Which is good. Alright, let's do what we can. My expectations are not high. I will do my best. You know, I feel like I'd be safe over there. Do I want to give it a try? No, he's aiming at me. Look, look, look. He's aiming at me. That was so fucking close. That was really close. Okay, so it seems that he actually doesn't just breathe fire in one specific place, he aims at you. So the fire will always harm you if you're down there, so... Yeah, unfortunately I can't get that slab. I feel like I just wasted my time. I lost that humanity unnecessarily and didn't even achieve anything. So that's annoying. But whatever. Life goes on, I suppose. Why do you keep surviving and then the other one dies? What's that about? Who knows? It's weird, isn't it, if you think about it? That I would do the running attack and one would survive and the other would die. I mean, it's the same attack. It's not like the damage becomes less if it passes through another enemy first, which would be interesting. That would be a very interesting system for them to do that, where if you've got a weapon like a Great Scythe that passes through multiple enemies, the first enemy takes full damage and then it is decreased by a percentage each time, but that does not exist as far as I'm aware. It might, but I don't think so. That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't line up with my experience. So, yeah, weird. I'm starting to get used to that beer. It's still not great, but I'm slightly less repulsed by it. Now that I have had about half of it. Again, I'm being hyperbolic, of course. I was never repulsed by it, I was just phenomenally disappointed. I was very much taken aback by it. Can you fucking stop with the dark magic? I'm so sick of it. I don't have ranged capabilities with you guys, so I keep getting caught out with my pants down. That's what's been happening with them. Seriously, if you don't have ranged capabilities, it can be a bit troublesome. I was in a very fortunate position last time I was here, because one of them actually came down the stairs, but I don't really know how to get that. I don't know how to have him descend the stairs consistently. I don't know how to do that, so... Yeah, who knows. Maybe there is no way to do it consistently. So they died this time, both of them. What the fuck? I can't explain it. I can't explain it. Alright. Take 3? Is it take 3 or take 4 of this particular area? I'm past the point of really caring because I've long since lost my souls. Okay, very cute of you. You're not going to be killing me now. I can deal with your crap. Is he going to descend the stairs? Come on, man. Don't be shy. If I stand here, will he come down? You can try and hit me through that, but you're not going to succeed. Oh my fucking god, who's got the patience for this? Not me. In case you wanted to know who has the patience, I can maybe help you in narrowing down the number of people who have the patience by excluding myself. I do not have it. It's not with me, it might be with someone else, but I have not recently taken custody of any loose tolerance or patience. It's, you know, it has not been on offer for me to acquire. So I do not have it. You know, what's most insulting about this creature is that when you kill it, it doesn't give you anything. It barely gives you any souls, and it gives you like a piece of chain armor. It's a waste of time to kill this thing, but I do it every time. That's 1,000 souls. He gave me 2 pieces of chain armor as a peace offering. What I mean to say is that he doesn't usually give you 2 pieces, usually it's just 1. But this guy has, you know, he heard what I said and he was like, look, I'm sorry, I'll give you 2 pieces, shit. Which is mighty generous of him considering that I just took his life. But anyway. I'm not feeling overly confident about my confrontation with Mr. Manners, but... do I have enough... well, I will have enough souls to level up after I consume these. Because that was going to be my question. Do I have enough souls to level up? The answer will be yes. I mean, I could always check the requirement, couldn't I? Oh, will we have enough? How much does this give me? No, we might. No, we will. Just barely. Just barely. Look at that. Oh, no. See, I thought it was 38,000. It's 39,000. Shit. Well, we can go. We can make that many souls. That's not a problem at all. We'll go and get Dark Bead, shall we? God, look at that fucking frame drop situation. Now, this is one of the issues with the Great Scythe. See how long it is? There's a lot of that weapon that's going to miss a target as small as a crystal lizard like that. That whole length of the weapon before it reaches the bladed part is just, it's not going to make contact with something like a crystal lizard, so... Now the reason why I stood where I stood was because I thought that the stalagmite was going to protect me from his magic, but it did not. You see. Yeah, whatever. I get the fucking point. Now here should be safe. If it's not, then I'm in trouble. Good. See how it's making contact with that? Good. No, don't you dare. You can cast that fog, I don't mind. There's Dark Bead, and we now have enough souls to level up. I wanted to at least get another level up before fighting Manus, and it will indeed be a point into Vitality, just to get a bit more health. Oh no, it was going to be a point in Endurance, wasn't it? Maybe I could use the Lightning Flamberge for this. We'll see if we can fast roll after putting a point into Endurance. I mean, getting extra stamina is good too. Like, seriously, that's nothing to sneeze at or snort at, whatever you want to say. Because stamina directly affects the effectiveness of your shield. So we can now fast roll with the Flamberge, so that means we will stay at 32 Endurance. We're going to give this a try against Manus. I don't know what his lightning resistance is like, but I will tell you that most enemies in the game are weak to lightning. The only one that comes to mind that's resistant would be Ornstein and Smo. And I don't say that to suggest that they are the same enemy. That was just my lazy grammatical telling of my thoughts, but yeah. Most enemies are indeed weak to thunder. You can see that I've got the timing down for when he actually drops. And I will let you into a little secret of why I have the timing down so well. It's because in high levels of New Game, I struggled terribly with Manus. I struggled terribly with him. Not with all builds, but with certain builds. Oh god. Like New Game +3 Manus. With a build that doesn't have a good shield. It's bad times. In other words, I've made this journey many times before. Now, how's my shield going to work against him here? God, he does not take lightning damage. That is not a thing. I'm going to try... No, I don't really want Quelaag's Fury because I don't have enough humanity to make real use of it. Okay, I actually need to start playing properly. And clearly, physical damage is the way to go. That's fine, I'll try that again. That was an absolutely abysmal attempt at that boss. That was pathetic. That was one of the worst attempts I've ever had at Manus, and I absolutely deserve to die swiftly as a result. Okay. Take two. We will use the Boulder Side Sword this time. Hoping this will be a little more... God, why is the fucking frame rate so terrible there? God. Alright. More twinkling titanite. More twinkling titanite. Don't you love my accent? That's not my standard accent. I don't know why I said that like that. But, yes, getting lots of twinkling titanite is good because we do want it for the armor that we have. In fact, I am tempted to try and upgrade my armor before fighting Manus, but I haven't any salt. Stop it with your crap. It's because he grabs you like that. There is a reason why I've learnt to time hitting him as he falls down. It's because you have a limited amount of time in which you can effectively reach the boss under those circumstances. I cannot kill this boss with 5 Estus Flasks. It cannot be done. So, what must I do? I must... I know very well what I must do. I must consume humanity. I now have the right of kindling, which is important for what I'm about to do. Will this be enough humanity? No, we want one more. If you are hollow, you require 4 humanity to take a bonfire from level 1 intensity to level 3. I'll stop it. Excuse me, to level 4. Bonfire intensity 4. I said 3 because I was looking at the number 3 in my humanity counter. Stupid Domelink. Domelink is a fucking idiot. Anyway. Take you to 20. This is not overkill. And it's worth noting that when you take a bonfire to fire intensity 4, it will remain at intensity 4 when you go into New Game Plus and beyond. So, it's not a waste of humanity, ladies and gentlemen, it's worth it. And if you're not going to do it for New Game, you'll definitely be doing it for New Game Plus with this boss. Fucking Manus. Alright, this time I'll actually respond to the casting of the... Anyway, no fucking comment. I'm surprised he didn't go and grab me. Oh yeah, I didn't get to finish what I was saying. You have a limited amount of time in which to get through that part without being hit, so you have to deal with the fact that the caster himself likes to grab you when he falls, just to flinch you, and then if he grabs you, flinches you as a result, and then casts his magic, that can be pretty heavy damage, but more pressing is the fact that you are slowly being approached by those humanity monsters. It's all about avoiding taking unnecessary damage, because the idea obviously is that you want to save your Estus Flasks for the boss. It feels very strange doing this on the Xbox 360 version on a small display, because I was fighting this guy earlier today in the PC version over and over and over again. In fact, I still haven't succeeded in killing him. I'm having real hard time. I'm having a real hard time killing him. On that build that I'm trying to kill him in. Now, what I've found to be most ideal with Manus is not committing to only shielding and not committing to only rolling. In other words, you want to go back and forth between those two strategies. There are certain things you really have to shield, and one of them is the attack that he gets you in a stun lock with. There is a specific attack, and he might do it soon. He hasn't done it yet, but it's where he does this here. You need to shield this. If you get caught by this even once, you're gonna have a problem. Particularly if you're a New Game Plus and beyond, which I am in, with the build that I was struggling to kill him in before. See, I shouldn't try to roll that. I have a bad habit of trying to roll that, but that's a very, very delayed hitbox, that particular attack. Maybe I should do my R2. See, I'm keeping my shield up here, so that I may back away. Yeah, I'm going to do the strong attack. It's going to be much better for him. So there are 3 types of dark magic that he casts. 3 different versions of it. That's the easiest to avoid, the one that he just did. And I'll explain the strategy. The strategy for this one is to roll to the side. Roll to the side. If you get hit by that, you're dead. Like, hit by all of it, that is to say. I only got hit by a little bit of it. The strategy for this one is to get in close. That was actually really nice of you, Manus. Just as I was saying that I wanted to explain the strategy for all the types of dark magic that you cast, you went and casted all the 3 different ones, so that was very nice of you. You can see that I'm trying to... what's the word that I'm looking for? Well, can't think of the word. Go back and forth between rolling and shielding. Some are more stamina efficient than others, and it depends on the situation. Well, that's what I mean to say. I mean that depending on what he's doing, shielding can be better than rolling, and vice versa. So you just have to make the right decision for the moment. I said that I was going to do the strong attack and I haven't been doing it. Oops. Kind of in a bad situation here, as you can tell. Take that opportunity. I'll shield this. I'm surprised that I can shield that with the amount of stamina that I have. And he's dead. So, the amount of time that I spent doing that, and the amount of effort that I put into that, would have only equated to about half of his health bar from what I'm used to, as of what I was doing today. As in earlier this morning. That was rough. Hey, Vernon. I don't know if you've seen that boss before, but he's the final boss of the DLC. And he is dead. He gave me 60,000 souls, and I don't think I want his soul for anything. Don't think so. Shall we consume it? I think so. Yeah. I kinda stopped playing Dark Souls. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. You will kinda continue. Just give it time. But I understand if you need a break. Well, thank you for that, Branderman. And I bid you a good evening and a good night's rest. What are we doing now? Leveling up is what we're doing. We've got 2 available to us, which is nice. Okay, it's vitality time. We're not touching endurance for a long time, and we're not touching dexterity for a while. It will pretty much be finished at 60 as far as I'm concerned. I don't think I will take it beyond 60. Because I'd probably sooner get vitality to 99 before putting more points into dexterity, honestly. So, yeah, dexterity will stay at 60, but I'm going to take... well, what should I do? I'll probably take vitality to 45, and then dexterity to 60, and then continue with vitality after that point. That is probably how we're going to do this. Okay. Hey, N10. Good to see you guys. It's been a lonely, well, hour. According to Twitch, it's only been 53 minutes, but that's because OBS shut itself and went offline briefly. But yes, it's been mostly me talking to myself. Anyway. Let's go and upgrade our armor as much as we can. And then, stop that. Yes, I did select OK, but the game ignored my input. I'm not so foolish as to think that cancel means select the option. It'll be normal for Friday evening, Friday morning for you. So it's Friday morning for you, Friday evening for me. It'll be at this time consistently. At least for a little while. You might have noticed that I've streamed at this time on this day a few times now. That's because it's consistent. So, at least for the moment. For the next few weeks it will be. What am I doing? Actually, it might always be. Yeah, I might always stream at this time. Would I? I will say nothing. I do not have a crystal ball, I cannot tell you if that will continue like that. That's perfect, I can now upgrade that fully. And I don't know how many Twinkling Titanite I would need to upgrade both of these. I would guess around... I'm gonna throw out a number, 18. Just throwing out a number. Just throwing out a number. No, that's probably not what it is. 9 would probably be to get it from 0 to +5. Or maybe it would be more than that, I don't know. 9 is the golden number, isn't it, for upgrading, so I suppose it would be 8. So I'll throw out 16. Let's see if I'm right. I'll go and get 16 Twinkling Titanite, and I do apologise that this will be on camera. I've apologised for this already. I pre-apologised. Or did I even pre-apologise? I did, I think. I think I pre-apologised for breaking my promise that I wasn't going to do this on camera. But you have to understand that between me having made the promise and me having started this recording, I forgot that I was wanting to do that off camera at all, so here I am. I might just take your old time slot now. It's still my normal time slot, you have to realise. I'm recording on the weekends, my time, at that same normal time. Yes, more crabs. Well, they're not crabs. They're... I can see why you would remember them as crabs, but they're not crabs. As you can see. But, yeah. Actually, the Boulder Side Sword with the thrusting attack is really appropriate for these enemies. Keeps you out of their range, well, if you're not being an idiot like I am right now, but... Actually, come to think of it, I'm not just being an idiot in how I'm fighting these guys right now. I'm being an idiot... Are you fucking kidding me? What are you doing? You're driving me insane. I'm being an idiot in that I do not have my ring equipped. My gold serpent ring. Stupid. You can... I mean, unsurprisingly, the drop rates seem better. You know what? The drop rates are fucking better with it. I'm telling you, item discovery is not just placebo. It's fucking... It downright lowers your item drop rate. Like, that's what it feels like. I'm dead fucking serious when I say that. I've never played a game where what would otherwise be considered an increase in item drop rate feels like the opposite. I've never played a game like that. But this game is like that. Okay? So, I mean, you're noticing already, I think that's 4 Twinkling Titanite in this run without increased item discovery. I mean, a slight increase. We're at 150. Now compare that to previous runs that I've done with like 380 plus item discovery. I was getting like 1, okay? Hello, Absurd Hero. Welcome back. You are still my latest follower. You're sitting there in my activity feed at the top of it from 5 days ago. I should be doing my strong attack. And I shouldn't be bringing so many of them to me. I'm playing very lazily at the moment, you must realize. Oh, stop it. I'm kind of shocked that in spite of my poise, I managed to... I've got 60 poise with it. Oh, that's right. I forgot that I had unequipped my gold serpent ring. I was thinking, God, my poise is really fucking good, all things considered. And then I realized, oh, I've still got my poise ring. Very well. Look at that beautiful range. What the fuck? That range is better than Zack's. I'm sorry, but... Okay, now I'm starting to feel the bad drop rate. What's going on? Give me the Twinkling Titanite. How am I doing? Reasonably. I'm doing well. We'll say that I'm doing well. How about that? I'm certainly not, well, I was doing better before that happened, but... No, I'm doing well. Oops. That was nice, because I dropped my glass. I turned my glass vertically so quickly that a bit splashed out onto my nose, which was nice, but I'd forgotten that I was supposed to be keeping track of the number of Twinkling Titanite that I have. We want 16. So we're only a quarter of the way through, but that's alright. Do I want to increase my humanity from here? I think so. Only by that much, which is a total of 3, right? I believe so. I believe so. Oh, fuck it. Now, oftentimes what happens here is the one from all the way over there comes after you first, and the reason why is because he has turned to face you. Whereas you're behind the others, so they don't really see you. I hope I didn't piss off that one. Good. Very good. Very good. Which is a reference to this game. Yes, I was the voice actor for those stones. In case you didn't know. No, I wasn't. Someone's gonna believe me if I say that. In the year 2012, I couldn't deepen my voice quite like that. Very good. I couldn't do it, really. I hadn't done enough work on my voice yet. And that's what it is, I mean, you know. I don't talk in the way that I do because I woke up one day and was like, oh, I'm going to talk like this. You know, I worked on it, man. You can get away from me. Oh, stop it. That's the worst attack that they do, that long-range poke that they do. It just interrupts what you're doing, and it's awful. It is guaranteed to fuck up whatever you're doing. Fucks up your spaghetti. Okay, thank you. I don't know what spaghetti has to do with anything of what's just happened, but anyway. I was sort of, you know, wanting to relate to, you know, cooking in some way. I don't know. Sometimes I confuse myself, really. Okay. We're at 6. At least we got 2. I didn't even know that I had picked up 2. But I did, apparently. Which is encouraging. I feel encouraged. What's pissing me off is that I'm so close to being able to kill them with 2 thrusting attacks, but I'm just not able to do it. Come on. Yeah, I mean, that's clean enough. Stop giving me purging stones. I do not want them. I do not need them. I do not want them. And I have at no time asked for them. I have purchased them in the past. But I never wanted them from you. Never. Alright. Oh, fuck you too. There was an unspoken message communicated in the fact that you had nothing for me there, and the message roughly translates to fuck you. So I returned the gesture. Oh, fuck off. Look at him. He's scaring me. He's actually intimidating me. I feel like I'm being bullied. what Vernon says is in direct response to what I said, which was that higher item discovery feels like, in certain situations, that it doesn't... Oh. So you didn't know that humanity increased item discovery? Yes, it does. There are 3 ways to increase your item discovery. That's with humanity, up to 10. 10 is where it caps out, in terms of giving you increased item discovery. The second way is with the ring that I have here. The Covetous Gold Serpent ring. And the third way is with the Symbol of Avarice. Which I think I have. I do. It's this thing. It hurts you over time. And I may as well use it. Why not? I can't fast roll anymore because it's heavy, but it's fine. But yeah, it slowly decreases your health. Oh, fuck off. I don't think I've ever been attacked by 2 of those in a row. What the fuck? It's worth mentioning, however, that the Symbol of Avarice will not increase your item burden such that it appears in... item discovery. It will not increase your item discovery in a way that will be displayed in your status screen. Or on your status screen. To speak English in a slightly less retarded way. Okay, alright, well, you do that, and I'll do this. In other words, you do you, and I'll do me. Things are looking a little better now. Things are looking a little better now. No, I don't know. Drop rates are enough to send a gamer mad. They send me hopping mad sometimes. I'm allowed to be hopping mad. I'm an Australian. And we've got kangaroos, you see. Alright. Let's try this guy. Come on. I'm really impressed with the range of the strong attack with the Boulder Sign Sword. It's really good. I've said it a few times, but I'll say it as much as I need to. It's bloody good. Okay. How are we going for Twinkling Time? 12? I said 16, didn't I? Yes. Holding out. 3/4 of the way through. Come on. Well, that's fine. The only thing that bothers me about this is that I cannot fight that one who clearly wants to fight me first without pissing off this one. I hate that. I'd love to fight you one at a time, but it's harder when this crap happens. Okay. We'll play it like... What the fuck? I have never gotten so close to this one without him being alerted to my presence. That's new. That's very weird. That's ridiculous. Come on. Oh! Didn't even see you there. You snuck up on me, oh, you motherfucker. Oh, not this shit again where you do 2 in a row. That was 3 in a row, you motherfucker. It's very difficult for me to counteract that. It's exceedingly difficult, in fact. I'm less than impressed. Okay. Patience is what's needed, isn't it? Oh. I had forgotten that I picked up... I'm not paying attention to when I pick up Time Knight chunks. Well, you know, Twinkling Time Knight, excuse me. But yeah, I'm not actually paying attention. In other words, every time I check, it's a surprise. I'm like, oh look, I've got more. I have no memory of having picked any of them up. That's bad. I do not want to lose my 4 humanity. Stop this. Stop it now. Stop. What was that? I was pressing the B button the whole fucking time, and my character refused to roll. He was like, nope, not doing it. I'm gonna have Doomlink lose 4 humanity right here, right now. Go fuck yourself. I can't believe it. Oh my god. Well, fine. Fuck you too. Unbelievable. I think he perfectly hit-chained me. He did. He chained me 110%. I could do nothing. I was on the ground, and as soon as I got up, I couldn't even roll fast enough. And I was spamming the button to roll. He hit me as soon as my invulnerability period ceased. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with that? A few things. One of them is that I just lost 4 humanity. That would be the primary issue. That's alright, Absurd Hero. You always understand a language much better than you can speak it. And one thing that I've often been told is that my English is easy to understand for foreigners, which is good. Because I don't have a strong accent and I enunciate properly. So, not necessarily what I say, but how I say it. The way I speak is easy to understand, so that's a good thing. Because I used to work a lot with people from many different countries who spoke English as a second, third, fourth language. And they always said that I was very easy to understand compared to other Australians, so yeah, that's a good thing. I mean, I'll mumble words here and there, but for the most part I enunciate reasonably well. Alright. So I think I'm pretty sure, unless I'm going crazy. No, we don't have enough. Shit. I thought that I had hit 16. I was not paying attention to what I was doing. Clearly. Well, I'm 1 off, so we'll do 1 more round of this. And then we should be done. Get out of here. Bad luck. I knew I was only barely going to make it there, but well, I only made it because I haven't... No, I don't have increased poise. Now that I think about it. What is my poise? It's 32. That's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. Oh, I was about to say, how could it be 32 without the Wolf's Ring, when with the Wolf's Ring it's 60? And then I realised that I've increased poise from the symbol of Avarice. That's what's going on here. And that's what's going on here. Yeah, when using the symbol of Avarice, you do have to pay more attention to one's health. Well, one must pay more attention to one's health, just to be consistent. Alright. Alright. Let's see if I'm right about 16 being, well... No, we'll work it out. I'll see how much we end up needing for our upgrades here. I think my theory that 16 was what I needed was correct. And we will know that I'm correct if we have... Once I can check. If we have 1 Twinkling Titanite remaining, it means that I was right. And if we don't have enough, well, that obviously means that I was wrong. So, there you go. Come on, baby. Really, I should have been paying attention to the requirements. Son of a slut. Okay. Well, whatever. Life goes on, doesn't it? So, I suppose that means it's 10 in total, doesn't it? Yeah, it's 10 in total for one armor piece. Not 9, so that's fine. We only need one more, so you're not going to have to put up with this for much longer, don't worry. Maybe I could do the rest of the live stream like this. Isn't this just so much nicer? Yeah. Oh, why did I never not do this before? Yes. I'm serious, I'm going to do the rest of the live stream like this. No, I'm not serious. Of course I'm not serious. This is awful. Can you understand me properly when I talk like this? I don't know. I'm very easily entertained, I think you'll find. Anyway. Enough of that. I've got no idea if that was easy to understand, because I don't know how much sound actually travelled into the microphone there, because it was reflecting back into my face, in other words, my ears, because, you know, that's just where I was in relation to the opening of the glass. But as far as whether or not any of that got into the microphone, I don't really know, so... Only you know if that was audible or not. That was okay, more or less. Well, good. Good enough. Well, we've definitely got enough for our armor, which is good. I could have done this before fighting Manus, but I guess it was something of an achievement to kill him without fully upgraded armor. Sort of. I think all we've got to do now, yeah, I guess all we've really got to do is kill Gwyn. So it's time for us to look at our build and determine if there is anything else that we would like to do. Are there any other dexterity weapons that we would like to make? I guess I could make the Uchigatana. That's an option. Or the Iaito. Yeah, let's do the Iaito. Generally, I think for standard dexterity, the Uchigatana deals a little more damage than the Iaito, but I prefer the attack pattern of the Iaito to the Uchigatana. And the reason why is because the Uchigatana has a really slow strong attack, I think, whereas the Iaito is a little faster, something like that. I will also mention that the Iaito is a little harder to get, but whatever. Shall we go from the Daughter of Chaos? Yeah, let's go from there. Oh, that's right, I'm supposed to finish my upgrading. I only needed one more. That time. But I forgot to do my upgrading. I forgot to do my upgrading. So let's do that before we go and get the Iaito. I was so focused on what I could do next that I was not paying attention to what I needed to do before, looking for something else to do. Alright. Let's get beer number 2. Fucking Guinness Extra Stout. What the hell? Alright. You get to listen to the sound of Andre banging his hammer incessantly and repetitiously. There you go, that's good enough. It's not enough, this glass isn't big enough to hold the entire contents of this bottle, because this is 750 mils, and the glass is, I would presume, well, Excuse me. I'd say the glass is probably able to hold about 500 in total. Andre, I thought his name was Bob the Builder. This guy is actually emulating the spirit of Bob the Builder. For sure. I mean, in fact, this guy, Andre Vestora, is basically the same person as Bob the Builder. You can always find him hammering away. No matter what. Okay, yes, so we are reinforcing our gloves to +5. Our defense is now 258. Still not amazing, but this is what you get with light armor. The weight of your armor directly relates to its defense. So, light armor can only be so good for defense in the end. But this is fine. 258 is perfectly fine for light armor. No, yes, I did mean the blacksmith. Well, I suppose, yeah, well, I guess you hadn't committed the name of that NPC to memory. No, it is 9 PM where I am. So if Bob was hammering away, I'd be very concerned. I mean, that has never happened yet. For all the years that have passed since Bob started hammering, I think it's been about 5. I don't think I've ever heard him hammer after 6 or 7 PM. Anyway. So, Daughter of Chaos. Have I been to Ash Lake on camera yet? Oh. Have I been to Ash Lake? I don't really have a reason to go, so I don't want to go. It's quite a process to get over there, so I don't really want to go. I won't go to Ash Lake. No one's going to care if I don't go to Ash Lake. But it is my favourite location in this game. Which would beg the question, why therefore do you not want to go there, Doomlink? Well, yes, it's my favourite location in Dark Souls, but I'm pretty familiar with the place now. And I've been there today. Just earlier on in the day, in my own time. While playing the PC version. I've been playing a lot of Souls in my own time. I've been going back and forth between the first Dark Souls and Dark Souls 3. Basically, Dark Souls 3 when I've played way too much of the first one, and then I go straight back to the first one once I've had enough of a break in Dark Souls 3. The build that I'm currently working on, well, the two builds that I'm working on at the moment are, as I mentioned before, my Artorias build, where I try to get to a high new game level. Basically, harkening back to an old Soul level 700 character that I had on PS3, which was obviously, you know, well into new game plus 7, basically in an endless loop of just getting the soul level up to a ridiculous level. And, yeah, basically looking to do that again. Just, you know, keep on increasing the soul level as high as it goes, which is, to my understanding, well, how high does it go? Does it go to 999? I guess it does. Anyway. Yeah, do that. Vernon, that might help you get back into Dark Souls. I forgot what I was doing. What I am doing is going to the EI top, which requires me to go this way. Just when I was talking about the Xbox 360 version performing well enough, we enter Blighttown. Which is not good enough. Blighttown has never been good enough on consoles. It's always been less than okay. Borderlining terrible. In fact, no. Not even borderlining. It's bad. It's fucking just not good at all. Do you notice, Vernon, that these flying insects are the same? Not these ones. The other ones. They're from World 5 in Demon's Souls. They're the same. Yeah, the same fucking enemy. One of the few enemies that actually return from Demon's Souls. Oh, fucking move, damn it. The undead and the dregling, the undead from Dark Souls and the dreglings from Demon's Souls are basically the same, but... Yeah, you can see that Blighttown took a lot from World 5. It's basically the spirit of World 5, but placed into Dark Souls, but... yeah. Unfortunately, it's mostly ruined on consoles because of the terrible performance. I mean, I don't know how they could come out with a game that had an area that was so poorly optimized for a console game. It's shocking. Like, it was always this bad. And let me tell you, frame rate in those days wasn't a big deal on consoles. Like, people weren't looking to see if the frame rate was good or bad. I mean, it was just, you got what you got. That was it. And it wasn't a big deal, but this was bad by everyone's standards. There was no person who played this game and wasn't shocked by Blighttown and how bad it performed. So, yeah, I don't know what the hell was going on there, but they decided that this was good enough for a full release. I mean, obviously they couldn't get around it. If they could get around it, they wouldn't have come out with this. It's very refreshing to play the PC version and go through Blighttown with no frame drops whatsoever. It's very refreshing. The only... well, I'm of course talking about the original PC version with DS Fix when I refer to the PC version. I'm not referring to the remastered version. When I say that the only place that I do actually get performance hits in is areas with lots of lava, such as the area leading up to Lost Izalith, as well as Lost Izalith. Those I do get performance drops with. But, oh fuck, stop with your behaviour. I don't care if you're just going about your day, sliding down the ladder. How many channel points do I need to spend to get you to try a completely new game? No amount of channel points will get you to play will get me to play a game of your choosing that I wouldn't have otherwise chosen to do on my own. I regret to say. Because I just, you know, I have an agenda that I'm trying to follow. Even though that might be hard to imagine. But, yeah. What's that? What's that 100 that you just posted? You cheered 100? Well, thank you. Oh yeah, you cheered 100 bits. There you go, there you go. That was weird, I didn't see the cheer in my activity feed. Thank you for that. Uh-oh. You know, these guys are really creepy. Oh. I do not need to be falling off the edge. Not sure what they go towards. It's basically like a... it's comparable to a super chat, I suppose. If you have bits, then I don't know. I think that still equates to money for me somehow. I don't know how it fucking works, I've got no idea. But apparently it equates to money. Again, I don't get any money from Twitch until I get a total of $100 US, which then results in my first payout, but I have to get that in the first 12 months. But I should be able to get that in the first 12 months, unless something really goes wrong, but yeah. I won't be getting a payout for a while yet. But I do appreciate all cheers and all subscriptions and all that business. I think 100 bits is equivalent to a few dollars or something. something like that. It's probably like $2.50 or something like that. I'm not sure. Oh, that was a pretty clean retarget there. See that corpse over there? Not this one, but the one over there. That's my target. That's the EITOL. That's what we're doing all of this for. Oh, fuck off. You know what? I need to go to that bonfire. I was close to reaching the bonfire, and I went in a totally different direction. Let's go to that bonfire. It's over there. I do this for the reason that if I mess up the EITOL jump, I want to be able to return to this bonfire. And in fact, I want to be going this way for the EITOL. It's been a while since I've done this jump. This used to... Well, there was a period in time when this was problematic for me as a jump. Maybe I do want to go this way. There was a time when this was a problematic jump for me to make. And then I became used to it. And now I'm not used to it anymore. So it might cause trouble, but we'll see. I'm going to guess 2 attempts, if not 1. Excuse me. What the hell is that you're swinging around? What the fuck is that? You have to understand that I haven't been through this area of Blighttown as much as the rest of the game because I just don't go from the depths. So, in the same way that the depths is kind of weird to me, this location is kind of weird to me. Oh, fuck off. Stop it. I love playing the game at 5 FPS. It's my favorite thing. I love it. Alright. So the EITOL is this over here. Basically what you want to do. See how a little bit of this juts out just slightly? Fuck off. Where are you? You're dead. You're out. No, I'm not going to do that. It's too many of you. There is a little bit that juts out there. That is what you want to use to jump. First try, motherfucker. Alright, so from here we can go down here and then done. No biggie. No biggie. Yes, it is harder than it looks. But it's not that hard. It's harder than it looks, but it's not that hard. Also, it is 1 cent per bit. Okay. Well, that makes it easy. Very well. Thanks for the $1 donation. Considering that you just happen to have bits just hanging around, that's pretty nice. Didn't even have to reach into your own pocket. Alrighty. So, we've got a few souls on hand, but not enough to fully upgrade the EITOL. Let's check out our chunk count. Oh, we've actually got a lot. Oh, excuse me. We've actually got 8 out of 9 large Titanite shards. And the reason why is because we've been killing all of those enemies in the DLC who drop large Titanite shards. That works out very nicely. So we'll get 9 of these. Oh, thank you. You had 200 hanging around, so you've cheered another 100. Thank you. What am I doing? I'm reinforcing my EITOL. I will reinforce this in the standard path because I want to get the dexterity bonus. It's worth noting, Vernon, and you've probably already noticed this, you have way less options for upgrades in the Dark Souls series. Well, no, for Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2 in particular, you have way less options as compared to Demon Souls for upgrades. Like, I can't just upgrade these weapons in such a way as to get a good dexterity scaling, even if it's a strength-based weapon. Like, you just can't do that. There's no sharp equivalent. So, if I, for example, didn't like the scaling of this, I wouldn't be able to make this a crushing great scythe. I would either have to take the scaling for what it is, or infuse it with something that would give a magic damage, or fire or lightning. Those are my choices if I don't like the scaling. So, yeah. They would have done that for a reason. They probably thought that it was too easy to just turn a weapon into whatever you want to... turn it into whatever you want it to be in Demon's Souls, and they thought that that wasn't a good thing. I think that's a good thing. I think it means that it makes all of the weapons more versatile, and it allows you to tailor the weapons to your style of play in a way that might make them more available to your average player. That's what I think. So let's say less people are inclined to do dexterity builds as compared to strength builds, which I would say is generally the case. There is an option for people to make strength-based weapons that are traditionally dexterity-based. And on top of that, I would say that the Crushing Path allows for the creation of more weapons that are appropriate for a light strength build. There aren't too many weapons here that are appropriate for a light strength build. So, in fact, there are barely any, to be completely honest. Like, you're looking at things like the Butcher's Knife, which even then, the Butcher's Knife has 10 units of weight. So, fuck that. Alright. So, what we're going to do now, I think... Of course, I do need to get one more large Titanite shard, but... what I think I will do is, because I'm going to make a journey to the Giant Blacksmith anyway... No, I can't modify to +10 through the Giant Blacksmith annoyingly, so... well, whatever, I'm going to get the chunks now. How close am I to my first payout? Oh, like $35 away, $40, something like that. I haven't checked recently, but I'd guess about 35. But, yeah, we'll see. No, it's not too bad. So the point is that, and I said this before, there's no real risk of me not getting a payout, because you've got, you have the risk of losing it in the event that you don't get $100 in 12 months. And I'm like 5 months in? I think I'm 5 months in. So I'm not even halfway through, and I'm most of the way there. So, well, not most of the way. More than half of the way there, basically. So I do believe that I won't have a problem. And then worst case scenario, I'll just say to Ethan, hey, donate me $20, mate. And he'll be like, okay. Because he probably owes me for something, you know. He probably owes me for a game. I don't know. What am I doing? Oh, that's right, I'm grinding chunks. I think he owes me for, like, something that I got him. That would sound about right. He buys games for me and I buy games for him. Every now and again. Not all the time, but... I do believe that that's what's going on. Usually it's him buying games for me, and the reason why is because this is how it usually goes. Ethan says, I really want to play this game. And he already knows that I don't want to play it. So then he is eventually just like, oh, I'll just get it for you. And then I'm like, okay, well, I guess I have to play it if you get it for me. That's usually how it goes. In fact, he probably doesn't owe me shit. Come to think of it. Anyway. Shit. Aha. I calculated that well. Oh, come to think of it. Need to put that on. I don't have any humanity, annoyingly. I take no pleasure in that fact, but... yeah, oh, uh-oh. That is a frozen Xbox. For fuck's sake. I'm telling you, it's the fucking Xbox. It's the Xbox. This is the second time I've had the game freeze. Now, I've played about 2,000 hours of this game on the PlayStation 3 alone, and I do not recall a single time where the game froze. Not even once. Xbox 360, twice in about 40 hours of play. So, there you go. Thanks, Xbox. Yeah, console froze. Oh well. Stupid thing. Ugh. Xbox 360. Okay, come on. Connect the controller. God damn it. Alright. I didn't lose much progress, I don't think. It's very good about that. It's very good about that. The autosaves are better than you might think. I love that little fucking screen. You see that screen where there's almost like this graphical glitch? That is so Xbox for the first screen when you launch a game to look like a graphical error. Seriously. It's what happens when you cut costs with making your console to sell it at a lower price than your competitor and then ultimately make more money. You make more money by making the experience worse for the people who buy your console. Welcome to Microsoft. Although apparently it was 50-50, also I hear, as far as the number of people who bought PlayStation 3 and the number of people who bought Xbox. But I don't know how much I believe that. I find that hard to believe. I found that most people, okay, maybe it's regional. I would say in Australia, more people had an Xbox 360. That's what I would say. I lost a whole 10 steps worth of progress. Yeah, this game's pretty good about the autosaves. Alright. Come on, baby. Yeah! That is one of the best fucking enemy kills I've ever achieved. Ever. That was beautiful. I feel like fucking Superman after doing that. That is so not a Souls way to kill an enemy. What I just did. But I did it. Yeah, that was great. See, I've tried to reach him before, but I obviously got a really good jump there and managed to do a very clean drop attack, which was great. That was lovely. I like that a lot. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Good night. Alright. And now for your friend. At least it's not in the crotch, it's actually in the abdomen this time. For the riposta. I'm getting sick of stabbing most of the enemies in the crotch with the riposta. Great in theory until you turn into the dick shot wonder boy. Lore-wise. I'm going to have to go and purchase some Homeward Bones. Yeah, no problem, Vernon. All good. All good. God, the loading screens are so much slower here. So much slower. Okay. Have to go back to Firelink Shrine, then we'll rest at the Firelink Shrine bonfire to ensure that that is our spawn point, and then we will go and buy some Hermit Bones, and then we will continue with trying to get Titanite chunks. Yes, indeed. Alright. So... may as well consume these, because I feel like it. I just don't like having souls that have not been consumed in my inventory. I have a compulsion to consume them. Otherwise it feels like I've done something wrong. Oh, I did forget to rest at the bonfire. I did say that I would do that, and I forgot to do that, so I'm going to try to remember to do that. Oh, you know what's going to be annoying? Every time I buy Homeward Bones, I always Homeward Bone from the female undead merchant, which means that I'm going to end up back at the Undead Parish bonfire. Yeah, okay, I can talk about it. The problem with streaming from my computer, and I have mentioned it a number of times before, the only reason why I haven't talked about it recently is because I hate repeating myself, but sure, I would say that there are plenty of people who don't know, especially if you don't know. You're one of my most frequent viewers and you don't know. Basically, when I record from my PC, I'm very, very much dictated by natural lighting. Like, whether or not you can see my appearance in the webcam clearly is far more dependent on natural lighting than in this scenario here. As I'm recording right now, there is no natural lighting. That is because I have a room light on the ceiling that is pointed in my direction, and it is casting light on me, therefore you can see me. I would be turned away in this direction if I were on PC, and the light would be to my side, which means in terms of frontal light, there is no light whatsoever. And you have to understand that my setup is such that there is no real way to set up like a ring light or any sort of light that could be used for lighting purposes. And then on top of that, webcam position is very awkward. It's all about the setup. You know, it's not anything that can't change in the future. It just can't change right now because, well, eventually I'm going to move from where I am, basically. And then at that point, with a different room setup, I will organize things so that I can record PC in the same sort of way that I can record on my consoles now. But until that happens, PC's just not viable. You'll notice with all the PC recordings that I do, for example, if you go and have a look at the recordings that I do of Freedom Unite, and Freedom 1 and all of that, not for all of the recording, but for much of the recording, sometimes it just gets really dark, and it's hard to see me, and it just doesn't look good, and also the webcam position isn't quite good enough for me, and overall I just don't like it. You know, it doesn't meet my standards, and even if it's okay for you, at the end of the day, if I'm bothered by the thought that it's not good enough, then I can't continue like that. It has to be good enough for me first, unfortunately. So, because, I mean, at the end of the day, it has to be that way. Even if other people think it's fine, you have to shoot for your own standard. You have to keep things to a standard that you can be proud of, and so that's the way I approach it. That's the problem with streaming on PC. There is also another problem with streaming on PC that is not really a problem for most games that I would want to record, but it is the fact that I don't have a streaming PC, which means that I can only record games on PC that do not draw much power from my PC, which again is 95% of the games that I would want to stream anyway. There are very few games that I would want to stream on my PC that would require more power than what I could comfortably stream and play all on the same system. The first example of a game where I wasn't able to do that without a streaming PC was Monster Hunter World. I wasn't able to stream that game. I was able to run it just fine. I could run it at like... This is the stupid thing. I was able to run Monster Hunter World on PC at like 140 FPS. No problem. But stream it and play it at the same time was not possible. Streaming it and playing it at the same time was not possible because I, for some reason, even though I had what I deemed to be a pretty significant ceiling for CPU usage, a ceiling of 30 to 40% on the CPU usage, OBS didn't like that. Didn't like it at all. And it couldn't handle it. So, yeah, unfortunately that just didn't go ahead. So, yeah, streaming PC will be necessary when I intend to stream better games. So, for example, Elden Ring. If I choose to stream Elden Ring in the future, God, that's clean! That's so good. I'm telling you, that is just... Everything about that does not look like a Souls kill. It doesn't look like I'm doing that in a Souls game. It's so good. I love that. I'm so doing that from now on. Anyway, yeah, the point is that there are games that I will want to record in the future that will require a stream PC, and that would be Elden Ring. Chiefly. And, you know, maybe in the future I'd want to record World as well, who knows. But I would only do that if I could play base World. Not the standard World with the post-Iceborne patch, which makes it so that monsters operate as if Clutch Claw exists, yet it doesn't. Which is a problem with base World now. But, yeah. I wouldn't play Iceborne, and I wouldn't play base World as it is today. I would need a very specific version of it to enjoy it. Yeah, it's... The game that you're playing has to really almost barely have an effect on your PC to be able to stream it cleanly. Especially if it's at 60 FPS, especially. So... yeah. Because the point is, I was able to play the game without streaming at 140 FPS, but when I limited the game to 60 FPS and tried to stream it, the stream was just balls. So, that gives you an idea. And we're of course talking about 1080p. All of this is 1080p with what I'm talking about. I play on my PC... Well, I have always stuck to 1080p on my PC. Not because I think 1440p is unnecessary, and not because I didn't buy into 4K. I do believe that buying into 4K is dumb, personally. I don't think there's a reason for 4K is not necessary. 1440p, on the other hand, great. Awesome. But I didn't personally get into it because I play a lot of older games. You have to understand that with a 1440p display comes the fact that games, like if you play a game in a windowed mode, so not full screen, if you play a game in a windowed mode, so if we talk about older Japanese visual novels, older games on DOS that you wouldn't want to play full screen, what would be a reasonably sized windowed mode in 1080p becomes even smaller in 1440p. And in the case of 4K, it becomes so ridiculously small that it's just a joke. So, yeah, there are a lot of older games that I want to play on a 1080p display that lead me not to buy a 1440p display. And the immediate response to that, for anyone who's paying attention, would be, well, why don't you just have two displays? One at 1080p for older games, and one at 1440p for newer games. The answer is quite simple, and that is that my setup does not support multiple displays. I have space for one display, and that's it. One monitor. Otherwise, I would have done that a long time ago. I will always have a 1080p display. It doesn't matter how much time passes. In like 60 years from now, I will have a 1080p display. It will not be my primary display. It'll be insanely archaic at the time. Well, no, let's not say that, because you never know. There might be support with whatever the hell exists in the future. I've got no idea what would exist 60 years from now. I couldn't possibly comprehend it, but there might be support for playing very, very old games in a way that would be comfortable, you know, comparable to the original experience. Yes, and 60 years is such an absurd length of time, technologically speaking. I mean, what an absurd length of time. I couldn't possibly imagine what would happen in 60 years from now, so I'd better not say anything like that. 60 years, what a jerk. Cannot comprehend 60 years. Alright. Oh, come on. I have not been paying attention to my chunk count. Hey, look at that, I'm right on 9. That's a good time for me to check. I don't have to dread the length of time that it's taking for me to get the chunks. I check once, and that is to see that I have all that I need. Which is great. Goodbye. Sounds good, Vernon. I'll be live for maybe another 35 minutes. I don't know. We'll see. It depends how long it takes for me to kill Gwyn. I'm not entirely sure. Out you go. Goodbye. Thanks for the chunk. Come on. Beautiful damage on that R2 though. Uh-oh, weapon at risk. You know what that means. Of course, people who are used to Dark Souls 1 and 2, and I'm assuming they didn't introduce bonfire durability recovery in the remake of Demon Souls. They might have. I don't think they would have, because they've been very, very anal about keeping to the original version of the game. Keeping the original spirit intact. So they probably didn't make it so that you could recover durability for weapons at bonfires, but the point is that for people who are used to Dark Souls 2 and 3, this would be really awkward to have to deal with weapons that will always lose their durability, regardless of whether you've rested at a bonfire or not. So, yeah, it is what it is, but I'm used to it. I will go to the Chamber of the Princess. I'll repair my weapon once I'm there, but I will be going there to purchase one large shard, and then, yeah, that'll be fine. I'll purchase one large Titanite shard, and then repair my Boulder Side Sword, upgrade my Iaito once more, and then fully upgrade the Iaito through Andrea Vestora at that point. I have given Andrea Vestora my very large Ember, which means that I cannot modify to plus 11 through the Giant Blacksmith. I did not do that out of choice, or by choice. I was forced into it, because for some reason, the Giant Blacksmith did not accept my very large Ember. He did not ask for it. At no time did he ask for it. Andre, on the other hand, did ask for it. And that has only ever happened to me in this version of the game. The buggy, broken 360 version of the game. So, yeah. What am I doing? That's right. Reinforce Iaito, which I am going to need to organize. Hold on. Come soon. Yes, yes. Change order, we are taking it. Well, hold on. You are going here. I know my priorities when I can see them. And that was blindingly obvious that that was going to be there. There you go. I still haven't killed Calamite. I actually almost totally forgot about that. Wow. That's also a free Titanite slab. So, I will be going there. But yes, first and foremost, we will... Oh, come on. First and foremost, we will go and grab the old... What am I talking about? We're going to fully upgrade the Eito, or at least as far as we can get it. What am I talking about grabbing something? There's nothing to grab. But anyway, I will be grabbing that Titanite slab, but not yet. Not yet. Undead Parish, thank you. I just realised that I need to respond to a friend of mine. He's asking when I'm going to sleep. He lives in Europe and we watch anime together, so he needs to know that I am staying up a little late today, so we will be able to watch anime. I only watch airing anime because of him, you know. I wouldn't watch airing anime otherwise, but like seasonal anime, that is to say. Well, I would watch some seasonal anime, only the stuff that I'd read the manga for, like Jahi-sama, Ijiranai de Nagatoro-san. I read the manga for those, so I would have watched those anyway, but otherwise, no. I just wouldn't watch seasonal stuff, because I have so much older stuff that I'm still catching up on, stuff that I've wanted to watch for the last 15 years, but still haven't gotten around to watching. That's why I just wouldn't do it otherwise. But watching with him is fun, so we do that. Alrighty. Pretty good. I apologise for needing to take a moment to take care of that. Now, modify you to +11. Stop it. Again, the Eito is a little worse than the Uchigatana, but I like it for the fact that it's a little different. Oh yeah, that's right, you don't need 9 chunks because you finish off with a slab, not with chunks. I always do that. That's stupid. Anyway. So, the golden question is, would I rather fully upgrade the Eito or the Great Scythe? I would probably fully upgrade the Eito because the Great Scythe is the better weapon. Which might sound counterintuitive, but the logic for me is that I want this weapon to be better. I don't want this to be so much worse than the Great Scythe. So therefore this would be the priority. See? Look at that. Beautiful. Strong attack. Oh. So it's more of a slashing than a thrusting. The thrust is a bit slower than this. Of course, comparing to the Uchigatana. Oh, and then he sheathes it for the 2-hand. Oh, absolutely beautiful, look at that. Well, I guess he kind of sheathes it for the 1-hand. He doesn't actually put it in the scabbard. Oh no, he does put it in the scabbard. Okay. Yeah, this is a much nicer looking weapon. And I feel that it plays better as well. It's not as strong, it's only slightly weaker, but yes, the Uchigatana is a little better. But I think it's worth it. In fact, I think the developers knew that. I think they knew that the weapon functioned better as the Eito. I say the weapon. in the sense that they're almost the same thing. The Uchigatana and the Iaito. They're both katanas and they both look the bloody same. They've just got different names and they swing differently. But I think they knew that. I think they knew that because the Iaito had the better moveset, it was appropriate for it to be slightly weaker than the Uchigatana. Alright, let's take on Calamine. I'm glad that I remembered to actually fight him. I was going to go and take on Gwyn. And then it hit me that I needed that Titanite slab from Calamine, which then led to the memory that, oh yeah, I haven't actually killed him yet. So let's do that. We need to go and speak to Hawkeye Goth. And pick up... Well, no, we've already got the key, so... Oh. The guy I watch anime with is going home now. Which may coincide with... I made an unintentional fish noise there, if you heard that. You know, did an unintentional one of those. But, yeah. He's heading home now, so that might coincide well with when I end this stream. It's more likely to come... Well, it's more likely to have it be that he'll be sitting there waiting for a little bit. Anyway. Alright. Purchase item. So just talk to him a little bit and... Yeah, then... Close out of that. And now he'll talk about Calamine.
Tomorrow, the black dragon posing the duress?
Yes.
Yes. Right.
Posing duress is an interesting way to phrase that. I've always... I suppose you're not forced to say... To refer to duress as being under. I think the implication is that duress is something that you are under the effects of, therefore under duress. You are under duress because it's like a... It's a state of being. I don't know. So I would say, is he placing you under duress? I would always say under duress. But maybe that's just because that's the standard way to use the word. It might not actually be a requirement on the basis of how the word is. It might be perfectly fine to say posing duress. Duress might be, yeah. Yeah. Obviously has to do with the conventional use of the term, which is not necessarily the only way to make use of the term. There you go. I would trust them in their use of the word, at the very least. Anyway. As far as whether or not I'll use the Iaito for this fight, I think the answer is no. It ends up being, well, it ends up being better than the Boulder's Side Sword, damage-wise. Oh, it's... You can see that because the weapon is at risk, it has dropped to 268 damage. I'll use the Iaito. Oh, fuck off with your behavior. Let's christen the Iaito against the flesh of the Black Dragon. Beautiful. Anyway. Is that? No, I don't think crystal lizards respawn in this game, do they? No. They do not. Only if they've disappeared on their own, but if you've killed one before, it will not respawn. Such as it is. Alright, so I may as well pick up these items. I should be able to do that in relative safety. He's going to do his attack. Well, that's very nice of you to open with that. I'll attack your neck, Fatalis style. have a pretty good idea of how this guy fights. Nothing he's going to do is going to surprise me, in other words. I suppose I could just... Yeah, I should just two-hand. Let's test my gumption. Let's see if I can stomach this. Oh, that's not good. See, I was supposed to roll away from that, but that's fine. I rolled to the side, which was good enough. Oh, look at that fucking delayed hitbox. Oh my god. That's fucking awful. Not a fan of that. Not even remotely. How many Estus flasks do I have? I guess I started with 10. I don't mind using all my stamina there. I'm very concerned about things like extended hitboxes. That was gross. And you saw that. You definitely saw that. He starts with the front legs and then finishes with the hind legs. It's worth mentioning. So if you avoid the front legs, you're fine. That was bad. It was stupid. Okay, this time it didn't give me a stupid delayed hitbox. I do like how Calamite fights. He's very cool. Oh! I was sort of expecting a tail attack there. He does have a tail slam that he does. Oh, that's complete crap. This is like fighting fucking first-gen Fatalis. Just dumb hitboxes. Even if you know what he's doing, you still get hit because of the dumb hitboxes. Oh, almost got hit by that. That was fucking close. There is a slight difference between the attack where he pulls you in and him breathing fire. It has to do with his stance. There are slight differences. Oh, thank you for that opportunity. Okay, this is risky with my current stamina. Oh, whatever. Yeah, whether or not you survive that depends. Well, survive, I mean, you know. So that's him pulling me in. Let's just mash it. Good night. Let's go and grab that slab. The Black Dragon Calamite. Fun fight. And the Calamity Ring is nothing more than a challenge run device. It's not going to help you in any way. Don't do that, you fucking Xbox D-pad. Calamity Ring receives double damage. Or causes you to receive double damage. Pretty bad. Unless you want to do a Calamity Ring run, which you could only do in New Game Plus, which is dumb. But anyway. So let's go and yes, we will fully upgrade the Eito with that. That shall be done. And this time, I'd forgotten to do it when I went to the giant blacksmith. I said that I would do it. And by it, I'm referring to repairing the Boulder Side Sword. But this time I'm actually going to repair that, so that I may compare it more closely to the Eito. I do believe that the Boulder Side Sword is sitting at around 375 to 380 in damage. No, it's definitely sitting at over 380. It's sitting at about 385, I think. So let's compare. I haven't really been using the black bow, have I? Well, whatever. It's there if I need it. That's what's important. Alright. So Iaito is at 413. Boulder Sign Sword is at 384. Well, Boulder Sign Sword has better range, doesn't it? Look at that. Better range. Especially this attack. Because he leans his body forward a little more, so... yeah. Boulder Side Sword is better for range, but the Iaito is still good. I mean, you could say, well, look at that. Technically, you could say this makes up for the lacking range. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sitting on 105,000 souls, which will only increase in number as I consume these. And then at that point, we will level up. Stop smacking your anvil. So those shields there... you can actually see a Boulder Sign Sword on the wall there, but it's much longer than the actual Boulder Sign Sword. At least I think it is. You can see a Rapier, Boulder Sign Sword, Battle Axe. Is that a Great Axe? Couldn't be a Great Axe, it's not big enough. Oh, it's the Standard Axe. I don't think you can get that twin-bladed Battle Axe in this game. That's the standard Battle Axe from Demon Souls, but it's not in this game, I don't think. And then there's this black rod. Don't know what that is. There's a crossbow, there's a hammer. That hammer, by the way, that hammer right there, you can only get by killing Andre. It's called the Blacksmith's Hammer. Anyway, just a bit of trivia for you. Sadly, I'm short of the... well, I'm not able to level up 3 times. Do I play chess? No. I do not. I'm far too right-brained for that. Alright. Vitality to 34. No, I am extremely right-brained. But I can bridge the gap. I can enter the logical sphere, if one could refer to that, or refer to it in that way, but I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy things like chess. I do not find natural enjoyment there, so I don't go there. Anyway. Well, that's great. Second in the state for chess, there you go. That's great. Good on you. I work with the Junior Tetris Champion of Australia from 1996. He's a co-worker of mine. Not that that's, you know, entirely... that's not entirely related to what you just said, but still. I'm using the people that I know to match up to your own achievements. How about that? Anyway. So, is there anything for us to do now that we've achieved that? We have achieved fully upgrading the Iaito to plus 15. We've upgraded all of this. Yeah, I think we have a pretty solid build here, guys. We've fully upgraded the shield. We've got the black bow to plus 15. We've got our Estus flasks to plus 5. We can go further than that. Where's that? There is a Firekeeper soul that we can still get that we have yet to receive. Where is that? There's one that we're missing. You can fairly easily get 6. Or get 2 plus 6. Well, it would be 6. Where is it? So we've got New Londo Ruins, Undead Parish, Mental Blank, Duke's Archives, Blight Town, Anor Londo Firekeeper, there must be an obvious one. There's definitely a 6th that you can comfortably get in a new game run. What is it? I don't think I can... I can't think of it right now. Okay, what are the Quailana. Couldn't even finish what I was saying. I was going to say, who are the Firekeepers? And then before I could even say it, it flashed into my mind. We must kill Quailana. And I don't feel good about doing it, let me tell you, but hey. I don't give a fuck. I need my... Well, clearly I give a fuck, otherwise I wouldn't have suggested that it was a sad thing to do, but... It's not going to stop me from getting another Firekeeper soul. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my dear. He starts walking after me because he's upset that I've killed his mistress. Anyway. She will revive, fear not. She was so close to death already, and I went and dealt the final blow. Anyway. Oh, I can level up again after that, which is nice. Vitality to 35, that is fitting. That is certainly fitting. We will make our way to Filing Shrine, turn in our Firekeeper soul, and then take on Gwyn. And that will be our last task of this recording. Absolutely. Reinforce the S flask to +6. You can probably get to +7. I don't know how you do it. I'm sure there's a way to do it. There has to be a way. But... who are the Firekeepers? The one in Anor Londo, Quailana, that girl. There's someone else who acts as a Firekeeper. Who is it? The Everlasting Dragon. You can't kill the Everlasting Dragon, he is immortal. So you wouldn't be able to get a Firekeeper soul from him. So... what else is there? That's probably it. Yeah, I don't think it's possible to get 7 Firekeeper souls in one playthrough. It's probably just 6 that you can get. If you can get 7, then I've forgotten how to get the 7th one. That's all I can tell you. What will be the weapon that we use against... you-know-who? Gwyn. Let's try the Eito. No, let's... I think I want to use the Great Scythe. I think I'm going to do the R2 with the Great Scythe to kill him. I think that's how we're going to do it. It's going to be a little hard. If I two-hand, then would the R2 be appropriate? Well, LT, excuse me. RT, there you go. Would the RT be appropriate at that point? Because it would be this run-forward attack. Would that put me at risk against Gwyn? Possibly. We'll find out. We'll see how things play out. I don't think I've used a great scythe against Gwyn in a long time. So, I really don't know what to expect, but I'll do what I can. I'll definitely do what I can. Vernon. I mentioned this earlier on in this recording, but you were not here. If all goes according to plan, I'll be recording the next episode, part, whatever, of the Sonic 06 livestream playthrough tomorrow with Ethan. He will be joining me. I have finally organized things so that he can join me on live streams again. So, yeah. That shall be done. I'm gonna see how much damage I'm doing to you. Well, that's not really a clear display. But yeah, you might... Well, I'd say it'd be about the time that you'd wake up. Probably. I don't know what your sleep schedule's like. It's probably around the time you wake up. I'm not 100% sure when I will be going live with Ethan, but... yeah. Probably later than my standard time, but not as late as this, you know, somewhere in between. Probably like 2 or 3 hours later than I would normally stream in my standard time. Time slot, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, expect that. I'll touch base with Ethan just to see if he's still good to go ahead with that tomorrow. If he's not good to go ahead with it, then I will record something else instead. Don't know what that would be. What would that end up being? If it's not Sonic 06. What else am I doing? Oh, I guess I could do Monster Hunter instead, but... anyway. I'll be doing some Monster Hunter with him too. I'll definitely get him on board for Monster Hunter, but we'll do Sonic 06 first, because he actually has finished the game before. And I didn't know that. That's something I was not familiar with. But it turns out he's finished the game before, so it'd be quite funny to have him join. I'm not killing these guys, I don't have the fucking time for it. Well, I don't have the patience for it, is what I mean to say. Alright. Hello, Gwyn, Lord of Cinder. I don't like you, you know. I've never liked you. I can actually get him to flinch here. Oh no. I was really, really expecting him to flinch on that one. He's gonna kill me. He has... that's the Gwyn special. He hits you before you can heal. Whatever, dickhead. The worst thing about Gwyn is that it takes a long time to run to where he is. So if you fail, it's not a quick retry. You have to take some time to run back there. It's fucking annoying. It's about 2.5 minutes of running. Excuse me. Maybe a little more. I've finally gotten used to this fucking Guinness Extra Stout. Or, I mean, it's fine, but it's not good. One could describe it as fine, but not good. I miss my Cooper's Stout. Never thought I'd say that. I mean, even Cooper's Stout, as far as I'm concerned, isn't that great, but it's better than fucking Guinness Extra Stout. No thank you. Give it a rest, Guinness. There's lots of good stuff coming out of Ireland, but it's not Guinness, I'll tell you that much. Don't drink Guinness unless you're in the British Isles. If you're not, then forget it. That's all I can fucking tell you. It's like deja vu. That's fucking deja vu. That's the exact same scenario as last time. I failed the parry initially, I shielded his follow-up, and then I go around for the backstab to push him off the edge. It was exactly the same as the first time. Oh well, some things never change. Whatever, man. Your axe looks so small when you swing it around, but if I swing it around, it looks pretty big. Looks pretty big. I am not too concerned about my souls, but I will pick them up if it seems comfortable to do so. It seems comfortable to do so, so I shall do it. Oh yeah, see, shielding is not an option. We have to two-hand. I do not like doing this, I have to tell you. See, sometimes he does a follow-up. See what I mean? I did not like this. This is going to take a number of attempts, guys, for me to get comfortable with fast-rolling Gwyn. I have recently been sitting behind a shield with him, because my Artorias build can actually sit behind a shield very comfortably with Gwyn, because it uses the Artorias Great Shield, as you can imagine, which is the highest poise Great Shield in the game. Highest stability, excuse me. And that's really nice. But what it does is it's bad for habit forming against Gwyn. Yes, I know we're doing well so far, but you have to understand that a fight with Gwyn can turn sour faster than, well, something that would be fast under normal circumstances. Yeah. You can see the range is also very high. He's got very incredible range. Okay, just one more successful hit. See, I can fail right here. One hit away. It's like King Allen all over again. Whenever I die to King Allen in Demon Souls, it's always one hit away. Always. Which is fitting, because this guy is a King Allen equivalent. Oh. Yeah, sure, Vernon. Go for it. Sure. Don't even have to sneak. You're welcome. If I bring Ethan on for Milestander, I'll bring you in too. I don't know how that would go, but I'd imagine it'd be pretty good. Ethan and I have a serious dynamic. That's the only thing. Like, he and I are like, we're two opposite ends of a spectrum, which makes for really interesting stuff. Like, it's pretty good. So, my only concern is that you'd mess up the equilibrium slightly, not because of anything negative, nothing like that. Just, you know, you can have too much of a good thing, but I'll bring you on. I don't mind. If you'd like to be there, I'd have you there. But, yeah, the Ethan Doomlink dynamic is very, very unique. I mean, if we wanted to be, we could be huge, I think. Because of how well our personalities gel together. Because we complement each other very well. Because I'm the pessimistic one and he's the optimist. So, and it's just quite... it's not like I feel that way when I am in the moment, but when I listen to it back, I'm just sitting there like, wow, we complement each other. It's one of those things. But anyway. Here we go again with Gwyn. We'll do a follow-up here, seeing as though he's given me a nice opportunity. One thing about Gwyn is that he doesn't have... his defense is low, but that's a balancing decision on the part of the game developers, because he's incredible on the offensive side. So they reward you for getting a hit in, that's the idea. I shouldn't have done that, that was brazen. It was careless. I could have gone for another one there. I was banking on that follow-up. Because he did that follow-up, I had an opportunity. Even in high levels of New Game Plus, he doesn't have too much in the way of health. He just hits like a truck. And he's very aggressive. It was a very fast Gwyn kill. Very fast. And I liked that. My standard ending is the Darkstalker Karth ending. So let's do it. I don't know what you'd be considered. I don't know. Like I said, Vernon, I've never done a live stream with you. And we'll find out when it happens. We will see how you fit into the dynamic. I've got no idea. But you're definitely an optimist, as compared to myself. If only for the fact that you see value in things that not even Ethan sees value in. So, yeah. It'll be interesting. I'm sure Ethan would be content to have you there. So, well, what I would say is that if I'm happy to have you on board, he would be. I'd be the hard one to get through. But you've been here for a while. I recall the first time I was going live with Ethan in Generations Ultimate, and you were there in the chat. So, back when we used to do that. So, yeah. It has indeed been 2 years. This is early 2019. February, March, that sort of time. Back when I was on the rum, I've got to tell you. Rum was my life essence during that period. Not because I'm not a rum person, but I don't know. That's what was affordable at the time, so I was jumping on it. The advent of COVID-19, when it first came, was basically Ethan and I watching Gundam, and the rum was flowing, put it that way. Rum and Gundam. That was the onset of COVID for me. I'm not forced to watch these credits, I will mention. Not at all. But I just feel like watching them this time. I skipped them last time. The thing is, I'm not going to actually do a New Game Plus run in this recording. I'm not going to get anything done in New Game Plus here, because I'm going to save that for the New Game Plus build. So therefore, I'm going to drag out the recording this way. But yeah. Hawkeye Goth is voiced by Mike Carter, in case anyone wanted to know. His voice is heavily distorted because he's supposed to be talking inside of a big helmet. But, anyway. A lot of people didn't know that the Japanese version had English voices. People didn't know that. But it's always been that way. This has always been a very authentically Western game in Japan, but it has a Japanese touch. When you play it, you know it's not a Western game. You know it's not, because it's just not. There's nothing about this that is Western. It is a Western theme, and that is what they take seriously. They take the Western themes so seriously that everything's voiced by actual first language English speaking voice actors, but the gameplay is very Japanese. And it's better that way. That's why this is the best action genre. It's because it's not designed by Westerns. Sorry for anyone who doesn't like to hear that. But that's the reality. Now, the Japanese were not always on top of the action space, of course not. But there is a certain... what makes Souls special is uniquely Japanese. That is what I contend in this moment. Alright. Well, that's not a problem, Vernon, because I'm basically done here as well. So, it's perfectly fine. That is it for my new game run in the Xbox 360 version. As I said at the start of this recording, I will be recording further in this livestream playthrough, not livestream playthrough, livestream series in the Xbox 360 version. I thought that I would do one build with the PS3 version and then one build with the 360 version and then leave it alone until I played on PC. But that's not going to happen. So I will instead probably do one more build here in the Xbox 360 version. I don't know what that would end up being. Probably a strength build, just keep it standard to start with, you know. And then, I will actually focus on New Game Plus and Beyond playthroughs of those two builds for a while in the Xbox version. That is the plan. So, I do thank you all for being here, and I will see you next time I'm live. Tomorrow should be pretty exciting if you're hanging around. And tomorrow for you, if it doesn't really matter what tomorrow for me is, if you're watching this VOD when it came out, the next recording will be that which I refer to now, which is me playing Sonic 06 with Ethan, unless something goes awry and I end up playing something else on my own, which is also fine, but slightly less exciting. So, yeah. I do thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time I'm recording something that you would like to watch. Bye-bye for now.